Have you ever caught yourself doing something and thought, wait, does everyone do this? Maybe it's the way you think. Maybe it's how you react when others panic. Maybe it's a small habit you never told anyone about. But what if I told you that this one small habit can say a lot about your mind and your personality? Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to tell you something important. Something that will show how all these traits connect. Once you hear it, everything about you will finally make sense. I won't tell you now. You have to wait for it. Let's first talk about most people. Most people like comfort. They follow the crowd because the crowd feels safe. They avoid arguments, avoid deep questions, and avoid sitting alone with their own thoughts for too long. They react fast, talk fast, and move on fast. Silence makes them uncomfortable. Not knowing what will happen makes them worried. They want simple answers, simple feelings, and simple days. But then there is you. While others run toward noise, you feel pulled toward peace and quiet. While others chase approval, something inside you quietly resists it. You notice things others miss. You see things others don't. And for a long time, you may have thought something was wrong with you. For being this way, it isn't. It never was. Psychology has studied people like this for many years. Researchers who study personality and mood have found that many people understand and feel the world more deeply than others. They notice small details, think about conversations again and again, and feel emotions more strongly. Scientists call this deep processing. Some psychologists say certain people naturally think before they react, instead of just reacting. Such people often spend years thinking they are too sensitive, too much, or too different, when really their minds are just made differently. Not worse, not broken, just different. Now let's get to the main point. I'm going to tell you 5 signs, 5 quiet signs, often unnoticed, that show whether you have this rare type of mind. Some of them may surprise you. Some may explain parts of your life you never understood. Listen carefully, because the first sign is more important than people think. Sign 1. You keep thinking about conversations even after they're over. Most people finish talking and move on. You don't. Hours later, sometimes days later, your mind quietly goes back to something that was said. A tone of voice, a pause, a word that felt a little off. You are not worrying for no reason. Psychologically, your brain is running a deeper check, looking for meaning that others never bother to look for. Think about the last time someone said something casually, and you kept thinking about it long after they forgot they even said it. That is not the overthinking people make fun of. That is the skill of noticing patterns. Most people think this trait means you are anxious or unsure of yourself. Actually, it means you are very socially aware. Your mind is built to catch small details that almost everyone else misses. The hidden strength here is simple. You understand people on a level most people never reach because you actually pay attention. Now, here is where it gets interesting. So listen closely. There is a strange truth hiding under everything we've talked about so far. And once you understand it, the next 4 signs will feel very different. Here is the strange truth. The same traits that make you feel too much for the world are often the same traits that make you valuable to the world. People who think deeply, feel deeply, and notice small details often grow up believing they need to make themselves smaller to fit in. They say sorry for asking too many questions. They say sorry for feeling too strongly. They say sorry for needing quiet when everyone else wants noise. But psychology keeps proving the same thing. Being sensitive and deep is not weakness, pretending to be strength. These are real mental advantages. People with this kind of mind often make better decisions in important moments, build deeper relationships, and notice danger or lies faster than almost anyone else. You were never too much. The world around you was just too fast. Sign 2. You feel something is wrong before anyone explains it. You walk into a room and feel the tension before a single word is said. You know a friend is hiding something, even if their words say otherwise. This is not random. Experts who study human instinct and safety have long said that people pick up small signals, body language, change in tone, timing, before the conscious mind even understands them. Most people completely ignore these signals. You don't. Your strength is that your gut feelings are rarely wrong. Your challenge is learning to trust that feeling instead of doubting it just because you can't always explain it with logic. Sign 3. You need quiet to actually think clearly. While other people enjoy noise, busy rooms, and constant activity, you need calm and quiet. Not because you dislike people, but because your brain processes information more deeply, and that depth needs space. Researchers who study quiet, introverted personalities describe this exact pattern. A nervous system that gets overloaded faster, but in return produces richer and more original thinking when given quiet. Your strength is a clarity that most people never reach. Your challenge is living in a world that constantly tries to fill every silence. If any of this sounds like you so far, do one thing right now. Tap the like button. And in the comments, tell me which sign felt most true for you. Here's why this matters psychologically. Putting your experience into words and seeing others relate to it creates a sense of belonging that your brain naturally wants. You're not just commenting on a video. You're finding proof that you were never alone in this. A real community is forming, right here, right now. Sign 4. You treat fast decisions differently from real important decisions. When something truly matters, you slow down. You think it through from different angles, even when others are pushing you to decide quickly. Psychologists who study decision-making describe 2 different ways the mind works. One fast and instinctive, one slow and thoughtful. Most people use fast thinking for almost everything, even big life decisions. You don't. Your strength is fewer regrets and clearer judgment. Your challenge is that people may call you slow or too careful, when really, you are simply refusing to take risks with things that truly matter. And now, sign 5, the one that brings everything together. You feel responsible for emotions that aren't even yours. You sense when someone in the room is upset, even if they say they're fine. You change your tone, your energy, sometimes your whole mood, based on what the people around you are feeling. This is a high level of emotional awareness that most people never develop. Experts in emotional intelligence describe this as the ability to understand and manage not just your own feelings, but the emotional mood of everyone around you. Your strength is that people feel safe with you, understood by you, and less alone around you. Your challenge is remembering that you are also allowed to feel your own emotions, instead of always managing everyone else's. So let's put this all together. Thinking about conversations again and again, sensing trouble before anyone says anything, needing quiet to think, slowing down for real decisions, carrying the emotional weight of a whole room. On the surface, these look like 5 separate habits, but they're not. They are 5 different signs of one single mind. A mind built for depth, awareness, and emotional understanding in a world that mostly rewards speed and noise. And this matches exactly what psychology has been telling us all along. People who think deeply, feel intensely, and notice what others miss are not broken. They are simply working on a different setting, one built for meaning instead of speed. Researchers who study personality and mindset have found that people who accept this part of themselves, instead of fighting it, tend to build the most original ideas, the deepest relationships, and the strongest sense of self over time. The traits you were told to hide were never the real problem. Hiding them was the problem. So here is the secret I promised you. The thing that makes you feel not normal is not a flaw hidden inside you. It is simply a different way of thinking. one built for depth, in a world obsessed with speed. You were never broken. You were never too sensitive, too slow, too intense, or too much. You were simply built to notice what other people are too busy or distracted to see. And if you've spent years saying sorry for that, for needing quiet, for feeling too deeply, for thinking too long before speaking, I want you to really hear this. Those were never your weaknesses. Those were the very things keeping you safe, keeping you honest, and keeping you real, while everyone else was busy pretending. The world truly needs people like you. Not despite these traits, because of them. The world needs people who pause before reacting, who notice the quiet pain behind someone's smile, and who refuse to take risks with what really matters. Fast, surface-level thinking has built a noisy world. People like you are the ones who can bring it back to meaning. So starting today, stop apologizing for who you are. Stop making your depth smaller, just to make other people comfortable. Stop talking about your instincts, your sensitivity, and your need for quiet, as if they are flaws to fix. They are not flaws. They are your strength. If you saw yourself in even one of these signs, welcome. You are part of a group that most people don't even notice exists. Quiet thinkers, deep feelers, people who see what others miss. You are not alone in this, even if it has felt that way for years. So here is a question worth thinking about. Now that you know this about yourself, what will you do with it? Will you keep making yourself smaller to fit in? Or will you finally let this part of you lead the way? Tell me in the comments. Did you see yourself in this video? Which sign described you the best? And if this video meant something to you, send it to someone who needs to hear it. Maybe a friend who has always felt too different. Maybe someone who has quietly carried these traits, wondering if anyone else understands. If you want more videos like this, ones that actually help you understand yourself, instead of just entertaining you for a few minutes, come be part of this community. A place built for people who care about depth, growth, and truly understanding themselves. You were never abnormal. You were just ahead of a world that is still learning to slow down. So if this meant something to you, hit subscribe, because there is still a lot more about who you really are waiting to be discovered.